The Last Stand of Johnny Sims. The Miami shootout that shocked the city.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Officer down! Officer down!
In the early morning light of January 20th, a small duplex on Northwest 6th Court in Miami looked quiet, maybe even forgotten. But inside that rundown building was a man police believed was capable of anything. His name was Johnny Sims, just 23 years old, and already one of the most dangerous men on the streets.
Guy is evil. He murdered two of my people today.
Their target, Johnny Sims, had a violent record. Armed robbery, drug dealing, and most recently, he was suspected in a cold-blooded murder that had left a man dead in Overtown just months earlier. That morning, two veteran officers from the Miami-Dade Police Department's Warrants Bureau, Roger Castillo and Amanda Hayworth, were on a mission. Both were experienced cops who had seen the worst Miami had to offer, but they also knew this one was different. When Castillo and Hayworth approached the duplex, they were ready for danger, wearing full body armor and moving carefully. But even that couldn't prepare them for what came next. As the officers entered the home, Sims burst from another room with a handgun, catching them completely off guard. Shots rang out in the narrow hallway. Within seconds, both officers were hit.
The officers were serving a warrant for a murder suspect. That's when authorities say 23-year-old Johnny Sims opened fire.
Officer Roger Castillo was killed instantly. Officer Amanda Hayworth was rushed to Jackson Memorial Hospital, where she later died from her injuries. Before the smoke cleared, a third officer, Oscar Plasencia, returned fire, striking Sims in the doorway. The man police had chased for months was finally down. Witnesses later said Sims was still alive when he hit the ground, his arms raised toward the sky, asking for forgiveness as he took his final breaths. So who was Johnny Sims? To most, he was just another young man from the rough streets of Liberty City. But to police, he was a repeat offender whose life seemed locked on a violent path from the start. According to investigators, Sims had been in trouble with the law since he was 14 years old. His juvenile record was long: theft, fights, and early ties to street crime. By 19, he was already facing 6 felony charges for selling and possessing cocaine and marijuana. He managed to dodge prosecution on those, but it didn't take long before he was back behind bars, this time for grand theft auto and armed robbery. He served 2 years in state prison, getting out in early 2009. But freedom didn't change him. Within months, he was back to old habits. Arrested again in 2010 for robbery with a deadly weapon. That conviction earned him another year behind bars, but because of time already served, Sims was released after just 1 month, in September of that same year. A few weeks later, in October, he was accused of shooting and killing 27-year-old Cornelius Larry outside an apartment complex in Overtown. The story, police said, started with the simple argument. Larry had yelled at Sims' sister. Sims responded with a gun. By then, Johnny Sims was living fast and dangerous, a man who seemed to glorify the life he led. His tattoos told the story. The word savage inked across his arm, 10 to 20 life, a reference to Florida's strict gun laws, and even an image of a flaming gun. To some on the street, those tattoos were a badge of pride. To police, they were a warning. As the murder warrant went out, Sims went into hiding. For months, police hunted him, until that fateful morning when officers Castillo and Hayworth finally tracked him down.
The shootout sent shockwaves through the Miami community.
A deadly day in South Florida where at least 2 officers were killed in a shooting. A suspect is also dead. The shootout erupted in a Miami neighborhood.
2 highly respected officers were gone, and so was a young man who'd spent nearly half his life in and out of the system. For law enforcement, it was another painful reminder of the dangers they face every day. For the city, it was a tragedy that raised hard questions about crime, justice, and how some people never get a real chance to change.
As I watched my son lying outside dying, my son told me, "Mama, they was going to kill me anyway."
At the end of it all, 3 lives were lost, 2 heroes, and 1 man who chose violence until his final moment. In the end, Johnny Sims' story isn't just about crime and punishment. It's about how one man's choices led to heartbreak for an entire city, and how sometimes the past never really lets go. This was the last stand of Johnny Sims. My deepest condolences go out to the families of everyone involved in this story. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Tune in for more stories from the other side of the bridge.